I love symbolism. Symbolism talking about one thing, but actually picturing something else. Rat poison is a long situation where you have 99.99% good corn and oats. Good stuff. You can eat it. So basically, 0.01 is poison. You take that and put it into the 99%. So basically take handfuls, 9,999 handfuls into a pile of good stuff. And now you just take one piece and dump it in of poison, strychnine. And you get a poison that will kill anything. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. But we're going to back up to symbolism of different sorts. I love the Bible of all the different symbolisms. The axe is laid at the root of every tree, talking about us. Psalms 1 talks about, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. He shall be like a tree. I love trees. I picked that profession. I love trees. Now, Ecclesiastes, for today, we're dealing with a little older things, older people, and we have the super adults. But Ecclesiastes 12 talks about the ailments that start happening when we start getting older. I'm just getting into that age where we're starting to get into those things. Ecclesiastes, the symbolism it talks about is the eyes start getting dark. The teeth are starting to disappear. The ailment, the hands, the feet, everything starts going away. Rejoice. It's not a negative. The day of redemption is drawing closer. It's coming closer. We still have time. We still can do stuff. How does Ecclesiastes 12 go? Remember now the day of remember now thy Creator in the days of the youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or light or the moon or stars be not darkened, nor the clouds of depression return after the rain of tears. A child will laugh and will cry and laugh and cry, and it's all good. But when it gets to older things and we're starting to get feeble and stuff, we cry, but there's no rejoicing after that. It continues. But that's not what I want to dwell on. It says, okay, and then the keepers in the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bound themselves, and the grinders cease because they're few, and they that look out of the windows be dark. And then comes 3 ands, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, can't sleep, and the sound of the and the grasshopper shall be burned, and things that are high shall be miserable. Okay, talks all about that. Let's go back to the childhood. Remember now the Creator in the days of the youth. Can we remember the days of the youth? I do. I remember about 1975. I wish somebody could remember what it was downtown. I believe there was a via that. I don't remember the exact details, but I remember when I was 15 and that place existed. Go to school during the day, come home, jump in a car, do the chores, come in the car, come into town, because there was a traveling evangelist that came to town here to preach messages. The first night I heard the message, and I knew I was undone, didn't know much about it. Second night, I was starting to get choked up. Remember Pilgrim's Progress talking about that heavy load on the back? I felt heavy in it. By the third night, I couldn't sing. Just as I am, without a plea. And that my blood was shed for me. I couldn't sing. If I would have tried singing, I would have bust out and danced would have broken. I'm an introvert by nature. Pull me up front, like you said, God has a sense of humor, bring me up front here. This is not my cup of tea. Anyway, I'm an introvert, and I was sitting somewhere in this area in that VFW hall, and the minister had a bus parked across the side there, and I had a mission. I had a plan. I can't go up front here to the altar now, but I'm going to go to the bus. When he goes out to the front there, I'm going to ask him if we can go in the bus and get saved. Whatever that meant. I got to the back, and I asked him one question. I just bust out crying. Come on, my son. He led me right past everybody, right to the front. It was not diplomatic. Yes, God, I'm a sinner. No. It was murmuring and moanings and words that could not be uttered, like it talks about in Romans. That, I was flat anxious. No, I'm lost and I'm done. The minister probably couldn't understand most of the words, but I thank God we have a God that can understand. Every murmur, every attitude that we have, he cannot understand it. He can interpret it. And the big burden lifted off me. The air was clean. I remember going home, kneeling beside my bed that night. God, if I ever fall, if I ever stumble, if I ever go away from you, please kill me now. That prayer was not answered. I would have been dead that night. Because when I got into the teenage years, after high school, I was doing good, but then when I got about 20, it's amazing. You can live out in the country, you can go in the woods, you can be all by yourself, and you're not lonely. But when you get among 200,000 people that you do not know, just crowded bathrooms, cities and stuff, and you don't know anybody, you become lonely. Something awful happens. And it happens to a lot of people. We take God off the throne, and we put him down here. And he becomes a rich, very wealthy slave. Get me this, get me that, get me this. God, why can't you answer this prayer? Why can't you answer that prayer? You look at the movie God's Not Dead. I hate you, God, because you killed my mother when I was 12. Remember that story? And if you ever seen that movie? And I had a woman. I was just like Samson. His parents, go get that woman. She pleaseth me. I asked God, my rich slave here, get that woman. And it didn't happen. If he can't answer those prayers, what is it good to have a servant like that? And that was wrong. And I drifted for several years. I ate the pig pen like the prodigal son. It was horrible. Anyway, years later, I started realizing as I'm done, I started making steps back toward God. And I met a different woman, Shireen. But she was caught up in religion. Religion's wrong. Christianity's good. Religion, you can have forms of religion. But that doesn't. Religion is a way to trying to reach God. Christianity is the way God brings down to man. Reaches down to us. And so I met Shireen. But I was like the scribe and Pharisee did. God, I'm so thankful that I'm not like this publican. She's religious. I'm good. Wait a minute. That was all wrong. And finally God started convicting me again. But you know, a retread tire is never as good as the first one. It's good, but it's never as good. God redeemed me again. And then things started going good. I got married and a few months later, I was married. And then all of a sudden, children started coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 children. I'm getting ahead of it a little bit, but I had one of each. They were all individuals. First a boy, then a boy, then a girl, and then a girl, and then a boy, and a boy, and a girl. So at about, I'm going to come back to this date, right at the 4th mark. I had 4 children, the 4th one was a baby. At that point, I met a group, COGR, Church of God Restoration. Very conservative, very dressed conservative. They preached good doctrine. It came from the Bible. It looked good. It was nothing like it happened to be. It transmuted into a cult, into radicalism. And during that time, I was with it, and then I started seeing some things. We had to move. We had to move down to Kenosha, Wisconsin. So I moved down to Kenosha, Wisconsin, and that's when I realized, what have I done? All of a sudden, these rules started coming in. They were not that difficult yet. But no TV, nothing, no moving pictures. You can't take the computer. You can look up elephants, you can read all about it. There's a little icon right there. You click on that icon, that elephant picks up the log and puts it in the back of the truck. And if Mommy caught us doing that, when I was showing the children that, I got called in the office. Pastor Pat O'Shea was just all over me. He says, you can't do that. We go traveling. It was right during the 9/11 towers. Never seen any of it. All of a sudden we stopped at the filling station because we were going to the camp meeting and it was on the screen. And the cleanup and everything. Wow! Us children were watching. Mommy was in the bathroom. Mommy stepped out of the bathroom and whoop! It was over. Got in trouble for that. No medicine, no doctors. And so my oldest son, he had asthma. He was breathing heavy. The church believed in total divine healing. He's breathing heavy. He can't hardly breathe. We're tapping on his back and Brady tapping on his chest. And divine healing. Got to call Pat O'Shea over here. Anoint him and pray for him. And he leaves. My little Randy, he was breathing hard before he came, and he was breathing hard after he leaves. Where's the divine healing? I'm not against divine healing, but I'm against somebody claiming that they have something that they do not. And so then I started going against that, and I bought an inhaler, over-the-counter inhaler, and I stuck it to Randy, and Randy sprayed it in his mouth. I can breathe. Well, a few days later, one of the other children saw him. Mommy, what did Randy spray in his mouth? Well, she knew instantly. I got pulled in the office for that. My mom died in 2002. And then in January, in March, Dad was on the phone. He just tore apart. I was just tore apart. Can you come? Can you come for Kenosha here? In memory of Mom. My wife? No. We don't have permission from the pastor. Don't have permission from the pastor. You got to have permission from the pastor for everything. If you buy anything more than $50, you got to have permission. Well, sometimes grocery was more than that. It was a control thing. And so I had to find a way to get out of here. I wanted to move back up north. I wanted to go back to Schooner. No, there's nothing up here. Well, family, I'd like to go. And so 2002, I said, Shireen, I want to go be with my family. It was Easter Sunday, back in 2002, it was the end of March. And so I said, I'm going to go take my oldest two boys, go finish off the tree work. I want to come back in an hour or so, and I'd like to go. I did not realize the last time I'd ever kiss her or hug her. I come back, she was gone. She moved in with Pastor. And so it continues. Now I'm going to fast forward everything that took place after that. If I would have seen some of those things way back when, I would have never joined it. But the thing progressed, continued. After Danny Lane died, the king founder of this whole thing, he died, and so Ray Tinsman is the best man that ever lived. Ray is perfect. They preach it out of the pulpit. Ray is a perfect human being. That's poison. I'm not talking about dirt. If you believe in a premillennial or a postmillennial, I believe in a panmillennial. It's all going to pan out at the end. That's dirt, at best. But here, these are poisonous things. He is not a perfect man. Every man, is lost and undone. But here, Ray Tinsman is a perfect man. One preacher gets up, I owe my life, I owe my soul, I owe my salvation to one man, Ray Tinsman. That's poison. That is not dirt. That is poison. You need to flee from something like that. Then a woman gets up. She's a pastor. And I knew her as a child. Elizabeth, she gets up. God told me in a dream, Dietrich is sick. He's going to die. He's looking death in the eye. God told me that he's going to raise Dietrich up. And if he doesn't, he's a liar. That's blasphemous. That man died. And then they also said that if he dies, I'll call all the brothers and we will raise him up. He's still dead. That's blasphemous. He's better than any man. Better than James and Peter and James and John and all Elijah and better than Moses who parted the Red Sea. You can see that on a video. He hasn't done a single miracle. He's nothing. Every man will bow to Ray Tinsman. Even Bill Gates will bow to Ray Tinsman. There's another message. If you want to get to heaven, you got to be measured by Ray. And then one preacher mentions, you know what the problem is with churches? They preach Christianity. We are not Christianity. We are laymen. That's blasphemous. Christianity is Christ-like, becoming like Christ. And here they're not anything of it? That's wrong. Just agree with us, and you will be sealed. You know, I want them ministers here, people will pray over here and over here, but all I want is someday is coming when if they just want to see, I want to be with you, and they will be sealed instantly. That's blasphemy. No salvation either? That's wrong. And time travel. Ray Tinsman traveled back to John the Revelator and told him what to write and what not to write. I mean, that happened in the last year. And just most recently, only 2-3 months ago, the man gets a costume, the third guy in command gets a costume of a wizard. And he preaches in front. I cast a spell on you. I'm a wizard. I deal with spirits. If you got a bad spirit, if I would have seen that, I would have never joined it. I would have never joined it. It's gotten that far. I got booted out way early. But now at 5th, 6th, 7th job. But the cult had a situation. They put pressure on me. The divorce started. Then, or it was about the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th child, somewhere in this area, I got introduced to the song. I might have heard it before, but it never dawned to me before. It was, "Am I a soldier of the cross? Can I talk about Jesus freely? Or will I blush to speak his name?" The verse that stuck out to me the most, "Will I be carried to the skies on flowery beds of ease, while others fought to win the prize and sailed to bloody seas? Where am I? God, where am I? Your apostles died and crucified and everything upside down. And here I have what I have. I come home from my work. Daddy's home and they come running. I have a job. I have a home. I have so many possessions. I'm living a life of ease. God, if you see it, if I'm trustworthy, you can test me. I want to go." That's a crucial prayer. But you're going to be trustworthy. Are you going to go through the whole way? I have a bow right here. It's more like a toy. But what if it was the full-size compound bow, the ones that are full thing, 175 pounds? You cannot pull the string back and lock it in. You need a crank on it. So you pull the 175 pounds back. Then you tie a cable to the end, and you take whatever you have, possessions you have in life, my car, and I tie that to it. And if that trigger lets go, how? It was smart, with an open hand. But with a closed fist, and somebody pulls that trigger, it's going to rip them hands. It's going to put me in a bloody mess. What if it's a house? What if it's your wife? My wife, a whistle? A whistle. Ever blown a whistle? You see that thing going around and around? That little pea in the whistle? My wife told me when this was starting to go, I could see it falling. I saw it crumbling. And, people say that we're in the Danny Lane movement. I'm not so impressed with Danny Lane. Like Patrick O'Shea. And I saw her eyes like there was a pea in the whistles. I said, wow, she's impressed with him. That hurts. That's smart. Also, the loyalty left from me to her. From me to him. That was nasty. Then all of a sudden, she was gone. Boom! Hurts again. Because this was my family. And they ripped my children from me. Ripped them out of my hand. That hurt. About that time, I got Lyme disease too. And I remember grabbing the railing, going to the courthouse, just going up the steps, ready to hear my hearing. My house was gone. That hurt. Now the house was getting foreclosed. I had to sell my place that I stuck thousands of dollars into it. And she just wanted to sold for bare minimum. It was appraised for $130,000. We sold it for $90, just what the bank owed on it yet. Boom! When it was all cleared done, we got a $180 check, and we stuck a lot of money into it. That hurt. Lost that. Now I went to jail. Spent a year in jail in increments. First time I went to jail was just for a few hours. She calls the police on me and says I'm abusive. I heard her wrist. I tore her apart. But nothing was true. Nothing was true. I got restraining orders placed on me. Couldn't pick up my other 5 children. The 2 children that came with me, my 2 littlest boys that came with me to do the woods, they came with me the whole time. They came to Hinckley School then. We had to move fast, okay? Now, I don't want to tell the story just what was me, but I got to get the basis in. And so I went to jail. I remember when I came out the one time, I had driven to the jail, or to the courthouse in the summertime. It was summertime. And anyway, I came in a t-shirt. It was warm. And I got in there, and I was there for, I think it was a 3-month sentence. And so anyway, here I am getting let out in December. It was 10 degrees outside. They let you out, not at midnight, because people run to the bar till 1 and get drunk, and they're going to be caught right back up again. Let them out at 1, so now they don't have that, can't go to the bar. So I get booted out 420 miles from home. My car, I didn't have the car. They impounded the car while I was gone. And I didn't come to pick it up. They sold it on me, whatever. I don't know, crushed it, I don't know, whatever. I had money in my Bible in that vehicle. That money is gone. They gave me back the Bible. They gave me a little pack of goodies. That's it. That's all they redeemed out of it. So here I get let out 1 in the morning before I found all about the car out. I get some guy in jail who's going to pick me up. He's not here. It's 1 in the morning. I'm outside. I have no coat. I'm going to preach this. I'm out here. Well, I got to get somewhere where there's warm. I know there's a filling station just 3 blocks away from here. I head to the filling station and I sit there. Not a penny to my name. Nothing. I don't have a single penny. Nothing. How can I help you? I'm just waiting for daybreak. You can't solicit here. Then call the cops. You want me to call the cops? Yes, call the cops. Really? Yeah. Cop rolls in. What seems to be a problem? I says, I just got out of jail, and my place is in Hinckley, Minnesota, and I need a place to stay. So, he says, you know where the sheriff's station is? Yeah, it's right by the courthouse. Go to the sheriff's station, you can stay there. So I came to the sheriff's station, rang the doorbell. There's a door right here, and this is all glass. Bing, door opens up, you go in again. Now there's a full set of glass. Full set of glass, another door. This is as far as you go. You can't go beyond that. It's like 50 degrees. I had a little bag of books. I had my Bible. I had the papers that you accumulate in jail. That's about all I had. And things that they gave you in jail was kind of comical for me. They gave you a little tiny toothbrush so you don't hurt any nerves, so you got to stick it away in there. But then they gave me a little black object where they tried cutting it off, and they couldn't, so they tried it again, and they tried it like 50 times to cut it off, and they couldn't cut it off. I'm trying to figure out what that was. It's just, I know, where's that thing? It was a comb. They called it a comb. You know, I don't know what happened to the comb right now, but I wanted to show you that comb. Anyway, I have no idea what it's for. I know I'll never part with it. Part it too far with it, or whatever. Okay, so I knew I had to start fighting. I had to start fighting against it. So when the first time I got in jail, so I slept on the concrete floor that night. I got tired, had a little bag of books there, and I fell asleep. And the first thing I remember after that is people were walking beside me. Oh, it's daylight, right outside. And now I had to get back home somehow. Some customer of mine, previous customer, they said, yeah, I got some work for you. I pulled brush, did this a lot. Made $300, went over to another person that I knew that had a $200 car, got the $200 car, drove home, the car quit. But I made it back to Minnesota. Now I have nothing. Now I have nothing. Now I have to start rebuilding. I'm glad that about that time, credit rating was nothing. My dad tried getting me a vehicle. His credit rating is up here. Mine is down here. Well, I'll co-sign for you. Went into the bank, his credit rating was here. He can't even co-sign for me. Couldn't even do that. Credit rating is shot. So what do? I'm glad God sent an angel to help me out. She said, you need a vehicle. I got $600 savings account. Let's go to Seabolds. What's the minimum you need? I need a little minivan. Here's the money, as long as you can make the payments. What are you going to wear for clothes? This is all I had. I didn't have anything else. Everything else fell apart. Herb Sicking is a nice man. Herb Sicking was here. And yes, you have a beautiful house. A storm ripped off the rubber roof. I was in jail. He didn't see it. He looked in. Everything looked fine. Rubber roof was around. He did the right thing. He put a new rubber roof on. Everything's perfect. He left. There were hundreds of gallons of water in the ceiling, flat roof, hundreds of gallons. I came out of jail, I came home the first night with a car, the ceiling had collapsed. It couldn't hold the water all over my stuff. I had nothing. It's not his fault. It was the situations. God was just constantly just boom, ripping off, blood, running through bloody seas. Who am I to try, expect a flowery bed of ease? And so I knew I had to fight back. The very first time that I knew I was going to win for at least a 3-month sentence, I found a webmaster. And he's going to give me a website. What do you want to call it? I don't know. Well, what do other people say? I'm getting screwed Kenosha style. And okay. I says, well, I'll let you know when I went to jail directly. I sent them a letter, just get started anything. Well, he used that title, screwedkenoshastyle.com, and the website started in. Next thing I knew, I had to get the colt off my back, or the courts off. Oh, I found this precious thing. What is it for? Anyway, I got one of these outfits. And I walked a street of Racine, Wisconsin, just north of Kenosha. There was a parade going on, and I was passing out flyers. Just passing out flyers, screwed Kenosha style, things that the judges were going on. I had to fight back. Then I went to the Madison Capitol, and passed out flyers there. I got to get them off my back. Then I went to Washington, D.C. with my nice new van. Oh yeah, that angel sitting right there. She's the one that got the car for me. She's the one that got me a whole new set of clothes for me. Used a charge card. She helped me out. Where would I be without that? There was no place to go. So anyway, I have to fight back. So I went to Washington, D.C., and every senator got my information. Every representative of Wisconsin and Minnesota got my information. And that's when the judges also, boom, boom, recuse themselves. So I got them off my back. The last judge, he was so nervous, and he reset my child support different than the 11 children that I was framed with. So then I had to do something else. Now I had to go against the cult. I drove a stake in after 4th child. 5th, 6th, and 7th were born right into that system. I brought them in. Number 4th child was a baby. Number 3 child, 3 and 4 are still in the cult. 5, some of us met Stephen, he's number 5. So the 3 middle children are still in it. And so I had to do something else. I have to fight against the cult. How am I going to do it? How am I going to get the message? So I took their clippings. Strychnine. Here's this tomcat again. Strychnine. I had the idea. Strychnine. What about Strict 1? What about Strict 2? What about Strict 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and Strychnine? All these are poisons. So I took 9 of their clippings, video form. Okay? Now I need, because it's rat poison, there should be a rat How am I going to make a rap into this video? I'm going to take a helmet, put on a piece of steel and stuff like that, and I'm going to build myself a costume. I didn't know how to do the sewing, so Doris did the sewing of the outfit. But I got myself this. Okay? And then I made that video. Then I go to their compound and I display it. Because if you don't have it displayed, you can have the best information, you can have the videos all compiled together. But if the members themselves, if my girls, Rachel and Susie and Stevie, don't see it, what good is it? It's worthless. You can have all your information, you gotta have it. And so I'm fighting against it. It's a strange mission field, but I'm the one that brought them into it, born them into it, and now I feel compelled to come out. God just, is this the right thing to do? And it just God opened up the doors and just it got to that point. Enough of all this. I need to make some. Okay, I got here. We're a wizard. If I would have known that right from the beginning, that the wizard is an abomination, I would have never joined the thing if they would have given me that opportunity. But all they had back then is all these minor things, no medicine, no doctors, no anything like that. I have some grandchildren. Here's a little granddaughter here. She was 2.5 years old just recently. She just turned 3. And she drew me a picture. Is there $500 that I can get for this picture? Everybody's laughing. Well, it's not a Rembrandt. It's not a Rembrandt. It's not a Kincaid or a fancy artist of some sort. But she applied her best. She applied her best. Now, I got some other pictures of my other grandchildren of Stevie's here. They're all the best that they can do, trying to give me something very, very special. Now, if you look at it symbolically, we are drawing a picture for Jesus Christ. I am drawing a picture right now of Jesus Christ, what he has done for me, how he redeemed me. I know it's just a bunch of scribble compared to D.L. Moody, Jonathan Edwards, Billy Graham. It's just scribbles. But I'm doing the best I can. And when you look at the picture, it's precious. She did the best. It's just a bunch of scribbles. But it's precious to me. And I just long for God to look down and say, yes, that's my child. You did good. You did good. But do you notice something? She did not draw that owl. She did not draw that owl. That's the template. We have a template. We just got to scribble. We just got to scribble. And put our own attitude, our own ambitions behind that. There's a New Standard, King James Version, whatever. They call it about talents. The Bernie translation, they got talents. Some get 10 crayons. They call them crayons in the Bernie version. Some 5 crayons, but everybody gets 1 crayon to draw a picture on a daily basis or a weekly basis to tell other people about God's love and what he's done for us. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, and while the years go by. It's a precious thing to serve the Savior, to know that you're free before God. I just thank God that he can use me for whatever purpose. And he says, well done, my good and faithful.